YouTube is still not started, I think. Is it?
Yeah, you can start.
I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you are audible.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nidhi, and with me are my teammates Pratik and Mokshita. The three of us, like said earlier, are final year students at Nitya Meenakshi Institute, and we are currently interning with IEEE, where we met our mentor, Dr. Sachin sir. And it's through this internship that we've been exploring ML ops in a hands-on way. So our talk today is called Vertex AI from a learner's point of view, that is our point of view. And the idea here is to not teach express as yourselves, but to share what this journey looks like for students like us, like, how we understand what MLOps is, how we see what these open source tools are, and how managed platforms like Vertex AI compare. So let's dive right in. Next slide. Okay. So the big question, why does MLOps matter at all? So the first thing we learned is that MLOps is not just DevOps with a little machine learning sprinkled. In DevOps, code and the builds are both deterministic. That is, if the code doesn't change, the behavior doesn't change. But in machine learning, even with the exact same code, the data changes, then the entire model's behavior will that data models both have to be treated as first-class citizens along with the code. So in practice, what this means is that we have to version the data sets, record random seeds that we plant in different places, capture the different environments and the library versions, and we have to store the training inputs and the outputs. Another big concept we came across is non-determinism. What this means is even with the same exact training script, the results will vary. Why? Because we have different floating point math on the hardware. The library versions are different. And to manage this, what we do is we fix seeds wherever possible, log these seeds, containerize these runs for to reproduce them, and store the snapshots of data. Um, Another concept, data drift and distributional change. So this in practical real life, we realized how common these two concepts are. So sometimes inputs change, that is covariate drift. And sometimes the targeted distribution also shifts. Sometimes the relationship between the features and the labels itself shifts. So to detect these shifts, we use different tests, the statistical tests like chi-square, KS test, etc. And we check how they monitor the model outputs and the different business KPIs. Very simple example, if the average session length for an app suddenly shifts to say about 2 weeks, this could trigger retraining. So now retraining, when we come to retraining, it brings us to retraining life cycle. So retraining can be triggered on a schedule by the before mentioned drift detection or if any new label data arrives. But promotion of a retrained model has to be safe. How we do that is first we retrain, we again evaluate, deploy it, and then monitor these metrics so that we can safely retrain the model. For us as learners, we realize that it's about solving MLOps is about solving these real world challenges. Once we leave the Jupyter notebook that we are used to, it's MLOps is mostly about solving such practical models. Coming to the next slide about the MLOps, the foundation. So before we touched Vertex AI, we spent time looking at the open source MLOps stack. So it was honestly eye-opening. We began with Kubernetes. Now, Kubernetes it's not just running containers. We scale jobs, we handle the distributed workloads, we keep training ML until it's reliable. So that was Kubernetes. Then we went the other stack available, Argo workflows. This is like basically an assembly line. It lets us chain together the entire ML training setup where we pre-process, we train, evaluate and deploy the ML model along with its branching and any conditions built in. The last stack tool we tried was ML Flow. This was what we related to the most. Why? Because we for us as beginners, we kept asking which run actually gives us this kind of a model. What hyper parameters did we use last time we did the same thing? So MLflow solves this problem by allowing us to track every experiment, every parameter, the metrics, and even the artifacts built in. So this comes with model registry. This is which keeps versions in hand. So as we went through the stack for the open source tools, the strengths were very clear. We could have complete transparency because everything is open. So everything without doubt, we could see it clearly. Have full control. The infrastructure is completely built by us. So we have control over every aspect. And there's no vendor exactly because this is an open source tool. So there's no vendor lock-in. So we can mix and match different tools and use as we wish. But along with that came challenges. The problem is that integration is a little complex. Not a little, for us learners, it was very complex. We need to glue code, we need to glue the YAML files. There were a lot of YAML files. And as beginners, the learning curve was very steep. And we had to learn ML and DevOps, both concepts in parallel. And once the model and the machine is up, we are doing the maintenance. That is, if anything goes wrong, breaks down, we have to fix it, and that can be a little heavy. So this was our impression. The open source MLOps is like we're building our own machine. Every part of it is understood, and we can tune it as and when we like. But when anything breaks down, we have to be the mechanic. So that was what we learned from open source. And the next slide, this was the different stacks we used. Yeah, next slide, we can come up to Vertex AI. Now, switching to Vertex AI. Vertex AI is a managed platform under Google Cloud. And when we switched to Vertex AI, the contrast was immediate. It felt like we are getting into a workshop where there are many tools which are already connected to us. So we could use them as and when we wished. So under Vertex AI, for example, there were pipelines. So pipelines gave us managed orchestration. That is, we could define the steps in Python or the YAML, and Vertex AI handled the workflow execution without we didn't have to set up the Argo workflow exactly. Vertex AI handled that for us. Under the model registry, it gave us a place where we could track our ML models, manage their life cycle. That is, we could move them from the experimentation to staging and then to production. So everything was handled by the model registry. Then we came up to the third tool that was under Vertex AI. We came up with prediction endpoints. And why prediction endpoints stood out is because using that, deployment was very much simpler. There's no need to set up Kubernetes services manually. The prediction endpoints manages our scaling automatically. Workbench part of it felt very familiar. Why? It was just like Jupyter notebooks, but it was already integrated into the ecosystem, so we could directly launch any of the training jobs we had or connect to the pipelines. So such training options, it gave us the flexibility. So we had our containerized jobs whenever we needed control, and when we just wanted to push any kind of script, the Python package jobs were already available. And for any kind of prototypes, very quick prototyping, we had our jobs, the lightweight jobs present. So according to us, the biggest strength was that the entry, we had a very low barrier for entry. Anybody could get into the Vertex AI managed platform. And instead of spending weeks setting up an actual machine, we could focus on the life cycle of our machine learning model and still follow the MLOps practice best. But there are trade-offs, of course. When any tool is concerned, there are trade-offs. We have very less transparency compared to open source tools. And since it's a managed platform, there's a vendor lock-in. But as beginners and learners, we realize that such trade-offs are acceptable because what we could do is spend our energy on the ML problem itself instead of debugging the entire infrastructure. So, a kind of analogy, if I had to give, if the open source MLOps is like building our own machine, like I said before, maybe our own car, then Vertex AI would maybe like a ride share. That is, we cannot exactly see the engine, but we can get moving much faster. None of the infrastructure is with us. So yeah, this is what that was our perspective on the foundations, core components of the Vertex AI, and how open source tools are different. And now making this more concrete, Prateek will now walk us through how there are real life scenarios. Yeah, Prateek,
Yes,
please.
maybe I'll take it from here. So this is an example pipeline of how works in Vertex AI. So first, there's a Vertex AI dataset which is stored in GCS bucket, and once the bucket data is finalized, it will trigger a cloud function, the cloud function that's for pipelines. Will have a Python script that will generate uh, a pipeline spec. That's a JSON file that will be used by the Vertex AI pipeline to execute the jobs. So that's how the flow goes. Uh, for example, I will show you the cloud console. These are the different services in Vertex AI. It has feature store, model development, data sets, training, experiments, metadata, and model registry, endpoints, batch inference, and monitoring tools too. So, what's the difference between open source approach and the Vertex AI approach? So, first of all, open source approach is YAML based. We use YAML files most of the time, but in Vertex AI approach, what we did was we used the SDK, the GCP SDK, where we had to write everything in Python. We just specify what to do and just give the functions. It will take care of everything underneath. Yeah. So this is mainly based on YAML. We can have a call login across multiple services, and open source approach is much more transparent. We could see everything going on, the logging, and if we encounter any failures, it will be easier to detect where it exactly went wrong, to pinpoint the errors. But when it comes to Vertex AI, let's say we face any errors, it will say internal error, but we can't exactly pinpoint what's wrong. Because coming from a open source tool set up to Vertex AI, we thought it would be better if we could relate them to open source tools. So that would make the learning much easier. But here, since it was difficult to pinpoint the errors, we couldn't exactly determine where it went wrong. So that was one of the problems we faced. Yeah, so scenario for deployment and monitoring. In open source setup, we could use ML flow for model registry and experiment tracking, and Bento ML to package and serve the models. That will even generate Docker optimized ML containers. It will generate Docker files for that, and we could use RayTune. That's another open source tool. That's for hyperparameter tuning. But in Vertex AI, it provides us a interface where we can mention all these details. And so using different tools, learning different tools just for more flexibility. So we could have it all at one place in Vertex AI. So here's how the flow goes. First, we will have a GitHub repository where the code will be committed, and that triggers the builds. If you are setting up CI/CD in Google Cloud Vertex CI, this is the setup. So that will trigger Vertex pipelines that we have mentioned in our Python files, and that will go to model registry, and then it will be deployed to prediction endpoints. That will even have monitoring tools. Okay, so the learner's perspective, what did we learn from this? So advantages.
I think if you just watch the hand raised, you may take the questions now or at the end. I think Mitesh has raised hand.
Could I take it at the end?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so coming to the learner's perspective, advantages. What are the advantages of learning? So it gives us simplified experimentation. We can focus on ML concepts rather than infrastructure complexity. For somebody who just wants to focus on ML code rather than managing all the infrastructure and deployments, it makes life so much easier for them. And one more thing is they will get production exposure, because when you're running ML models, in your local machine, for example, or using open source tools, you don't really know what's the industry standard, how the models are exactly handled, and what's the best practice. So that we can get some idea of that with Vertex AI, looking at different options, and that will even motivate us to research on certain topics that we don't know about. And coming to challenges, this is a black box abstraction. We don't really know what's going on underneath because it's all taken care by Vertex AI. And also cost awareness. Since we are students, we had free credits from Google Cloud. When we sign up, we'll get 300 credits, $300. So we had to be mindful of the cost too because we have limited credits, right? So that was one of the challenges. And using Vertex AI, it's much more expensive compared to open source setup, and also much more scalable. So those are the trade-offs. Coming to educational suggestions, what we would like to see is, like, if there was a documentation that specifies the Vertex AI services are equivalent to these open source tools that we have used, that could have made it much more easier to learn and much more easier to understand what's actually going on. And uh, this offering sandbox credits for experimentation. Google Cloud is doing that through Skills Boost. There we can have labs, we can execute the instructions. But the problem there is we don't exactly have that freedom. We can't experiment with stuff. We can only follow the instructions given. That's one of the problems. And if there was some way to know how exactly the process working underneath in Vertex AI, that would have been better for us to even understand uh, how exactly it's working. Yeah. Okay, advantages and limitations. Mokshita, would you like to take over?
Yes. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what we noticed here is that Vertex AI, it offers a fully managed platform, and it covers like the entire machine learning cycle, like from data prep and training, like right through deployment, monitoring. So this means that as a team, or like even as a learner like us, we can move from idea to working model much faster without spending huge amounts of time setting up and maintaining infrastructure. It also brings in built-in practices and security features so that we are automatically following enterprise-grade standards without having to create everything ourselves. However, there are some trade-offs because so much is handled for us, we don't always get to see what's happening under the hood. So this would reduce transparency, and it also makes it much harder to fine-tune or customize certain parts of the process. It can also be difficult to understand how much cloud resources we are consuming, which means cost visibility and control can be a challenge. And since this was Google Cloud Service, there's like always a possibility of vendor lock-in if we build everything only on Vertex AI. So the fundamental point of this slide is that Vertex AI gives us a lot of convenience and speed, but we give up a bit of control and flexibility in return. Could we go to the next slide? Okay. Okay. So the key message here is about balance. Open source tools like Kubernetes, Argo workflows, and MLflow are brilliant for learning because they show us every part of the workflow and it gives us complete control. They're harder to set up, but that's where we build the strongest foundations as ML practitioners. Managed platforms like Vertex AI, on the other hand, they accelerate production. They take away the heavy lifting of infrastructure, and it allows us to focus on building and improving models. This is invaluable when we need to scale quickly or like operate at some enterprise level. The ideal approach is to combine both, like to first understand the concepts and hands-on details through open source tools, and then use the managed services like Vertex AI to move faster once we have that base knowledge. Um, in other words, managed platforms can make us faster, but understanding what's happening underneath it makes us better and more confident practitioners. That's what our motive was here. And that's the big takeaway. Pratik, would you do this?
Yeah. So this project that we built, this was done, I think 3 months ago. So we did some load testing on that using open source tools. This was local testing, Locust. So this is all I could recover from that time. I mean, we don't have all the screenshots. So yeah, we did this to monitor how bots are being created and scaled up, scaled down uh, when we mentioned strict policies. So that was the goal of this testing. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, we already have one in the queue. Mitesh, you are going ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I posted on chat also, but let me read again. How to test the model before deployment in CI/CD? Hello, am I audible?
Oh yeah, is it related to Vertex AI or?
Yeah, means in your pipeline, before deployment, if we can test some things that it is going to work well.
We did not set up a CI/CD pipeline using open source tools. So what we did was we detected drift in dataset using different tools, and if it doesn't match the threshold, then we had to trigger retaining of the models. That's what we did.
Okay.
Just adding on to that, Pratik, so you did the drift test on Vertex AI or on, not on the OSS tools, am I right?
It was on OSS tools. We didn't use Vertex AI much because we had limited credits.
Yeah, so that's an important point you brought up. So during the course of this project, how many credits did you did you finish off using? You had 200 or some, I forgot how much you had actually at the
Yeah, we had $300 free credits, but I think we spent around 90 or something. But even the 300 credits, those are for limited time, for 1 or 2 months.
So, and when you were doing this project, you did some benchmarking on your laptops, right? This locus thing.
I don't have the data of that right now.
But you did
Yeah,
it on
we
your
did.
on your laptop, right? The locus thing was done on your laptops, right?
Yeah. So also we tried to integrate GPU workloads. So what we did was because GPUs are expensive, we had one instance, and we wanted our different pods to share the same GPU resource. So for that we did some partitioning, GPU partitioning.
And one more thing, you mentioned that you weren't able to do this load testing, locus testing on Vertex AI primarily because Vertex AI does auto scaling.
Yeah, we could do that, but that's no point because it auto scales. We tested this with strict scaling policies under HPA, just to see how it works.
Okay, so I think nicely presented. I think the decks were clearly professional. As I'm really impressed. I'm pretty much sure Mitesh and Shu Manas were like pro industry veterans. They also felt, yeah, that you are making like interesting decks, well presented. So
Thank you so much,
I think, also
again, thank you for the opportunity. It really means a lot. Because I've attended a lot of meetups. I really wanted to speak at one. It was a long time wish, and finally I got the opportunity. I would really like to thank you for that.
I think more of the thank goes to your guide because he is the link here who brought you in. And I'm pretty much there's a quite a good learning deck because you compared two set of things, going to the cloud versus on-prem. I mean, not on-prem, your own personal laptops. I'm pretty much sure department doesn't have an on-prem data center to give you all these facilities. So I think one of the good thing which you can all do, like suggest your department, your college is pretty listening to the students. So propose something which you can do on campus during your fest and stuff. Post something beyond your personal laptops. So a little bit of scale. Since Sachin is there, he can really guide you all to do all the things, and it would be great. So yeah, so what is as a thing? So we have got a Discord channel. I'm not very sure if you have already joined the Discord channel. So in that Discord channel, there is rather Discord group. There is a channel for the 56th event. So a PDF version of the deck which you presented, you can share so that further questions. There are people who couldn't join probably. Some of the people who are watching it in YouTube will not be asking questions, so they can fall back on the Discord channel to ask questions on as detailed questions like what it took to create the setup. Was it a Windows laptop or a Linux laptop? All those questions people usually don't ask on a presentation. Discord group URL. Yeah, I will share here. Discord group URL, Sachin, for sure. Okay. So so that would be a great idea because those are detailed discussion where people learn. So this platform is to exchange ideas on somebody learned something. Uh, Other person should not waste same amount of time to learn those things from scratch. So we can share our knowledge, and that's how it goes. Anshu has already shared the Discord group's URL. You can please free to join the group, and we can continue our discussion beyond these events, which is quarterly. Thank you all, Pratik, Nidhi, and Mokshita. All the best for a good score in your final exams and stuff. All the
Thank
best. Stay in touch.
Thank you, sir.
Be in the meetup to listen the next talk. So our next speaker is Mitesh, a pro lspe-in and experimenting day in day out. So Mitesh, you up next.
Yeah, thank you for giving me opportunity, and thanks all in the LSP managing team that we are still continuing LSP since long, and thank you everyone for joining this LSP meet. So let me share my screen for presentation. Just 1 minute. My screen is visible?
Yep.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, good. Thanks. So myself Mitesh, and I started my career with Yahoo, and then worked on various companies like Ola, Twitter, Cred, and I got the opportunity at Yahoo, which like helped me in solving a problem at large scale. So that was completely it's a different experience. So we try to solve any problem by keeping scale in mind. So thanks Yahoo and my mentors at Yahoo, and even Devanshu sir, we used to go together at Yahoo. Then I have created like CI/CD platform at Cred from the scratch as founding engineer, and so we are able to deploy more than 500 plus microservices, even data pipelines over same, and there were more than 800 deployments per day. And we scaled from like 0x to even 15x during IPL days when Cred is sponsored. IPL. And then I have implemented ML ops pipelines and data platforms so that models can be deployed seamlessly without any issue. Like even we can test new models in a blue-green manner so that customer will not see if new thing is getting deployed without any disruptions. Also, I have done big data analytics for DNS data from Newstar, which is around around 30 GB compressed daily. So that was like used for URL classification and user segmentation, which kind of websites they are seeing using Hadoop, Maut, and K-means algorithm. So today's topic is about first thing is ethics of AI, and we have seen a lot of usage of AI in current scenario. So we are going to, for example, so we are going to attend three things here, like ethics of AI, and second is current challenges in AI ML, and third one is future trends. So what is in the future that what AI will bring to the table for users. So if any questions comes up, please raise your hand or put in chat window. I will be happy to answer in between. So current AI ML part is so when we start our morning, earlier days AI was not in much in picture, but nowadays we are having many things like when we start to office, we try to see which route is the fastest to go to office, and what is the weather prediction. All those things are like data mining and prediction based on those past data. So AI is everywhere. So the big picture is the decision that makes systems, whether simple or complex, have real world consequences. Means we have means if something is there, then we need to think in the terms of like what will be the consequence of if we are developing something. It is like developer thinking like I have to write code such that bugs will not be there. So similar analogy can go for AI, like how it can be used. So our goal is to understand how we can harness the power of AI responsibly. Uh, okay, but yeah, so this topic is little what we can say theoretical. So let me make it interesting by uh, say we do not know like how to use in our daily life. Even like as a Linux user, I was thinking how I can use AI. So sometimes I feel like whether I need to go to search Google every time and get data, but I have a lot of like my own tips and tricks. So I thought better create something to use AI along with it. So let us see one demo. My screen fonts are visible. Hello. Hello.
It's visible.
Okay, so let me
You can zoom in a bit more if you want.
one better.
Yep, better now.
So let me sorry. Say I want to merge multiple PDFs into single PDF. So it will go to like AI server running here. So Anshu, Srini, and Devanshu sir already have presented like how to install open Olama. So you can see it is giving output like what I can use easily. So that is the advantage, and it has come from here only. Say API is less chat, just 1142 time. Okay, so I can use it to explain the. If I do not understand command, I can explain the command. So it can help But it will take more time to provide now for an explanation. But yeah, my machine is not so fast, but still it can give answer. So this gives us inspiration. Like even if AI has come, it is not going to take our job. We can use it for our own as a helping hand. So if you want to do some complex thing which you do not know command, you can use AI to. So it is just simply sending this query to this server, and it is going to return the result. So this is the simple tool I have designed. Means you can do more complex thing than this. My machine is running little slower. But yeah, it will give. Meanwhile, any question?
Whoever is not speaking, please be on mute so that we can avoid the noise in the recording and stuff.
Yeah. My machine itself is. Yeah, you can see answer has come up. Now my machine will also. So you can see it has given the reasoning also in proper good looking format in command line. So you can use more than this, but yeah, this is just one example. Let me switch to presentation. Any question related to this? Do you feel like AI can help you in your daily life? So that's what the ethics of AI.
Yes, you may like to. Most important part, you didn't go to the web to do this. It
Yeah,
was self-hosted platform.
Self-hosted, yeah, means I did not go in my full data. Sorry. So I did not go to net. My query runs here only, and it went to this server. So no data is going out. That is means security and your privacy. So
Two raised hand, Manas and Sachin both have questions.
yes.
So it is. I want to know means how it is being designed. Means you are saying it is not going to web. So some engine is running behind. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
So what is that engine?
So that is Olama. Olama.
Okay.
Olama is open source. It's like kind of Docker engine which runs LLM models in layers. So that helps. So even you can put your own things above on top of it, so that you don't need to run everything same again and again. So you can do that. So Olama is you can download various models, whichever is your laptop or desktop is able to run. Yeah.
So Manas, we did a hands-on session for to run self-hosted LLMs on our 55th lspe-in event at Mintra. Okay, but since you are from Calcutta, you were not there, and this part of the event was not recorded either. And there we had some issues with IT security of Mintra. So those recordings are not yet up. And this part was not recorded either. So that's where it is. Okay, Sachin, you have question.
Yeah.
Question was also similar to what Manas had asked, and I was actually going to ask him, and now he's also answered that. But then, what is this AISH? I'm sorry, I think.
So I have written a wrapper over kind of curl command,
okay,
which will send the query whatever I'm typing on the command line. It will create a query and send it to Olama server, and with some do not do much creativity. Otherwise, it will give a wrong answer.
Right. So you reduce the hallucination, and all those are preset parameters.
Yes, I have reduced the temperature also.
Okay.
So that
and which version of ChatGPT are you using here?
I am using Olama.
Olama के साथ ChatGPT आया होगा ना?
No, so Sachin, you probably reading his path. Okay, somehow he is shooting the query from the path of his laptop which has a subfolder as ChatGPT.
Yeah, so which is so Olama can run multiple models. Now, which model
Yes,
are
yes.
you using?
So I am using, I can show that.
That's what. Okay. So I said it was ChatGPT, so I thought you were using a ChatGPT.
No, no, no.
Okay.
So now
I'm using this model.
about your directory structure.
This is Gamma 3N,
Yeah,
4 billion model.
yeah.
And
So I
may I ask
evaluated.
what is your RAM and all on this computer right now?
My RAM is 64 GB and 8
Uh-huh.
GB VRAM, 2080 NVIDIA. So
Okay.
8 GB VRAM.
So is it using the GPU also?
Yeah, let me show you.
Inference?
Okay, yeah, let me show you again.
ML ethics बता रहे थे अब तुमको वो कराने लगे.
Okay, let us see. Now I run again. Says you what you want to do. Just so convert PNG to JPEG. Okay.
ठीक है.
Okay. Let us see. See, it increases.
The GPU is green.
GPU usage percentage. So it is Olama is using it. It shows how which command is using how much GPU memory. See, 3.4 GB GPU memory is used. Here, this one. So that's why half around 4 out of 8, 4 GB. So it depends on model. So I do not use more than 8 GB model.
Okay, good.
So it has written this output. But I'm not in good format, but I am getting a space is there, black screen. But separate commands are there. This is
Got it, good.
I'm pretty much sure Nidhi, Mokshita, and Pratik will be interested to learn how things are working. So this is the same thing we did
yes
at Mintra the other day. The interesting part, Sachin, to answer you, I think serving LLM GPU requirement is not a must. I run it without a GPU on my laptop and desktop as well. However, if you have GPU, obviously it will use it for sure.
Yeah, I know it's not a must, but I was just wondering whether because I heard that it makes things easier to use.
Yeah, it makes like offload your CPU so that
Yeah.
you can do other work.
Yeah, but this is NVIDIA. I'm trying to use my AMD one, but I've still not started doing that.
Yeah, in NVIDIA you need to use Olama ROCM model.
Yeah, for AMD ROCM, yes. And tell me one more thing now, and this is a question that I will actually sort of ask. This is an interesting one. ये जो image magic में जो convert है ना, image magic convert has actually been deprecated.
Yeah, so it shows from history. So which multiple commands are shown.
No, I was just saying that. So this is also becomes an important point to say when it has been learning, what it has done, and things like that.
Yeah, that's why I have not made it like completely interactive. So I need to. That's why I have given like explain flag, so that I can 100% sure before running any command. Otherwise, we can run wrong command, and if it is destructive, then problem for us. So always think before like running any command on command line. So that is what our security, privacy, and like sanity related to AI, we need to think. See, now if it explanation, it takes a lot of time. Earlier it took around 1 minute to return that, or 8 seconds. Now it is taking more time. 8 seconds earlier.
So there will be lots of use case for local LLM running because
Yes.
lots of organization like insurance companies, banking sector, big companies are not willing to let their data or code go to the public stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
They
that is
are
also
really
there.
scared. They are literally scared.
Yes.
If they can build an means in-house or in-network LLM model or ready model that can be deployed, they can get lots of things done with faster accuracy.
Yeah. So that's why we can create our own like vector database related to our documents, private documents, and then use LLM to enhance the output of it. So I'll show that demo also.
Suppose means I was means having one issue few months back that one of the insurance company don't want to use any public LLM. Okay, and if we use the public LLM, the effort will go down by 30 to 40%. Okay, so it's basically a migration problem. But eventually they said no, we cannot use public LLM.
Okay. So that is the core question. Like just because we can create something, should we build it like without thinking of like outcome and consequences on society? So that is the big question. And so AI system are only as good as data they are trained on. If data has some bias or some means wrong information, they can produce wrong output. So that is there. And so there are key pillars of ethics in AI, like fairness and non-discrimination. Means it should return the fair without any bias output. So that we have seen that it still does not know that some commands are gone deprecated. And then second one is transparency and explainability. So that is why I have added explainable flag in my command, so that I know that it is what it is returning is really good for my command to run. Third one is accountability and governance. Like so it the part we can control or uh, uh, limit of AI usage is with us, but like across multiple people and organization or even country level. So accountability and governance should be there. Fourth one is privacy and security. Like so if any no consent is there, then that data should not be used for training of AI, and our data should not go out. So that is the four ethics of AI. So if you want like in details about this, I can explain. But yeah, but let me give one example. So what happened with Amazon's AI recruitment tool, that so it has a bias because most of the employees on data which is of a male employee. So whenever a female employee is getting hired, it gives uh, some kind of biased result for her. So that is why we need to give a proper data. So this happened, and it was in Reuters news. So that is what even like if we are even with training, say uh, our own like coding algorithm and AI, if our codes are not written good, then it will produce buggy code. Kind. And what is the solution for this is like we can have multiple teams doing auditing and curating the inputs and data set, cleaning the data and removing the biasness by anonymization and other techniques, and ensuring diverse team build and test AI. Any questions till this point? And transparency and explainable AI. So we have seen like AI models are a black box sometimes, which one to use and what is giving us a correct answer. So we can like test it well, and it should give us explanation how it has come to that result. So that is the main thing. It should be given by AI, whatever software going people are writing. So it means it should be auditable also, like how this model has reached to this decision of producing that kind of output. Any questions till now? Like GDPR, European Union has created compliance for it. So, for example, this. So they have already started working on like having some audit and compliance umbrella for them, so that things will be more transparent and helpful for people to trust the AI models. So that is what I mean. So we can define clear lines about accountability and mechanism for like some mechanism to ensure that these like compliances are followed related to AI, just like banking sector where PCI DSS and other organizations are there to where give guarantee that your data is safe and not going out. Fourth one is privacy and data security. So AI needs a vast amount of data for training, and may sometimes sensitive information can creep in. So there is a problem like even some models have given out its own information how it was trained. So those kind of things should be avoided. Even some models like can give wrong answer, and that can be a problematic. For example, in medical sector, say we are taking suggestion for some medicines from data model, then if it gives wrong answer, then it will be a problem. So best is like adhering to strict data protection law like GDPR and CCPA, and we can like preserve the privacy using anonymization, federated learning, and so that model is trained on various kind of data, but so that bias also does not creep in. So let us go to next demo. Okay. Yeah, but that theory kind of presentation is not good. So let me. Okay, so third demo to using AI in DevOps. I have like I was like analyzing some. Sorry. Okay. CD. Okay, in a DevOps, like so I was like solving a problem of like I have to reduce the cost of my ECS clusters, like EKS. ECS is also Docker Container Orchestrator. So that's what. So I analyzed that we can save a lot of cost there, because we never know how much CPU memory is going to be used by our microservice well in advance. So generally we deploy it and see how it works, and if CPU or memory usage is high, then we try to. It is again using. First, we'll see any, say, for example, a service, and So okay, it shows that I have taken the data from CloudWatch logs and created this graph. So you can see a lot of data is there. So it is overriding, but you can see only maximum CPU usage is around 10 to and in between below 10. So it is also suggesting that we can use less amount of CPU and memory also. So around 1/4 of cost we can easily deploy this service. So that is what and means I can save 3x cost. So this is given by heuristics. But if I send this heuristic and this data to Olama, let us see how it can help further. So that is what, but yeah, it has given detailed information like why it is recommending 1.25 CPU from 1. So due to this spikes, see, heuristic has not seen these spikes, but Olama has seen these spikes, and that's why it is saying for a headroom for that. And similarly, current allocation, but it is seeing memory usage is not very high, never going above 14. So it has decreased to 1024. Still maintaining the small headroom. So that is the advantage. Like we can take on here, take a more informed decision, which I may miss or heuristic may miss. So these things are helpful. So this is one example. Let me close it. Even I can do same thing for database. Any question for this? For same service, let me try alert service. And it is also showing CPU usage is maximum up to 5% and memory usage is also around 70%. And heuristic is suggesting the same instance. It is over provision, so we can use a smaller. So at least half of the cost is it. So that is the. So now let us see how Olama responds. See, it has also given the same recommendation with some explanation. And third one is I merged both into one so that developer can take more better informed decisions. So I've used like AI. So you can see it has gone to my AI server. Yeah. And if I run and we top again, so let us see right now. CPU usage is there, but if I send again, so it has reduced again the same ones. So CPU usage is there. Any question for till now? Do you find it interesting? Like there are many use cases where AI can be used, and no data is going out. Means it is completely my private service.
So Mitesh, I didn't read the entire advice that Olama spit out.
Okay.
I mean, it couldn't read out because things were a little bit small in font and stuff.
Okay, let me run it again. So here, no much analysis, but if I run with Olama, font should I increase more?
Slightly, the detailed analysis and justification part is looking.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I think now
So this is currently configured, and it is saying it is over provisioned with this workload, downgrading to this. So that is the advantage. Means I will save 50% of cost easily. So I have given all the data related to this service, this database to the Olama along with heuristic data. So it can do more better informed decision. Earlier, I was not sending heuristic data to Olama, so it was little like means imaginative in giving some answers. So by sending heuristic, it got more informed decision, means much better context. So it sometimes
Yeah, thanks for explaining, Mitesh. I think it is readable now. I can read it, and quite explanatory as well.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Mitish, one question. In case if it requires to go out to the internet and search for information, since this is not accessible over the internet, will it give us an means like message stating that okay, the information is not currently available with the LLM, something like that?
So this is completely offline. Due to meeting, I cannot switch off my net. Otherwise, I can show it. It is like without internet. It is not going out. It is going.
Yeah, I understand that, but like let's say for some information it needs to go out, right?
Yeah.
And in that case, like what it will give us as an output.
So it is always better to like use some things which you can trust or you have built yourself. Say if you want to even go to internet and download or enrich the data. So if you have created that software, you are 100% sure that it is going to desired location and not sending any unwanted data or secure data outside. So there are many use cases like that.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yeah, so that's why I have also like created this just to avoid sending my metric data outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with Olama, when you are doing this one, what? Sorry, I have not raised my hand.
Okay.
Uh, what language you are using? It is Java, Python.
This is Python, but I have used Golang, Java, many even shell script. So depending on the problem which I am solving, I use language accordingly. So if I want performance, I generally use Go or Rust. And if I want to like POC and showing like it is not high, this kind of site is not require high performance. So then I use Python because it is easier to develop and do POC in Python. And shell script, like if you are doing like just 1 or 2 time commands, just run. You can run Olama run also, like I can show. Say, I want to say some small model I should run, otherwise it will take time. The DeepSeek is very long running job, but let me check. It will think and give answer. So let me do some programming. So you can see it is loading this model here. Okay. So say I can say ask it to please write Python function to get nth number in Fibonacci series. Okay. Say you can do if you any depending on say if you want to do some ad hoc work, you can directly come here and do. That is the advantage.
Great. I have to check it out.
Yeah. So yeah, it returns very fast because I use smaller models. Bigger models I can't run much. Okay. So what are current challenges in AI? And again, So current challenge is most like as Vertex AI team has told us about, like getting a model to work once it initially it is a science project, but getting into the production is engineering problem. So to solve it, there are many means we have to now start thinking in terms of a scale. Earlier we were thinking like how to solve the problem. Now new problem comes up, like how to deploy that model so that it can serve traffic like 10,000 requests per second or more. So that is what uh, so that is the current challenge in AIML, like from lab to reality. We need to take model, and the key challenges are like data quality and curation, scalability and infrastructure, deployment, integration, model drift, and maintenance. So the Vertex AI team has explained like model drift and maintenance. So I will not explain those things because I will save time in showing the demo. Okay. So if data quality is not good, your model will not be good enough to help you out. So it is same as earlier also when we see garbage in, garbage out principle. If data is not good, model will not be good, and so as a result, output will not be good. And say for example, if we take inconsistent data, for if so it may say if a one or two column value switches, then result may change. For example, reading gender, age, and some hobby, and if a gender and age column is switched in some field, then training will not be good. And similarly, missing or incomplete data also lead to skewed or unreliable models. And if say even we are labeling, and if anon labeling is not done correctly, then also we'll not get good result. So we need to invest in like robust pipeline. That's why I asked for testing in CI/CD question, and data cleaning process and continuous data validation. Any question till now?
Let's move on.
Okay. Then scalability and infrastructure. So as you see in like in my small laptop, AI is running very slow. So means these are computationally intensive. So using only a single machine will not help. You have to, if you are using in org-wide AI ML models, so you require multiple machines deploying models in parallel in containers. So that's where Kubernetes helps in like deploying models parallelly and handling the large number of requests. So that if say one container is busy in doing, then our algorithm of load balancer says that it should not send the request to that container. Instead of free containers can be sent the request. And we know the cost associated with GPU and cloud computing. And so what is the solution for this? So we need to optimize models such that it is fast in running and returning result as soon as possible. If it is running slower, then people will see it as very slow output, and they will, like customer can switch to different platform. So that's why efficiency and speed is important. So earlier in my LSP, I have explained about like ML ops CI/CD. Just I'm recapping it. So one, it is a simpler indication of what generally ML ops pipeline. We need to build model, then test the model locally inside CI/CD also for a small set of like thresholds and test cases. Then we can create a service for it so that it can serve traffic coming on it. and we can deploy in a stage in blue-green manner, so that your older other services are using your things in stage also. So first you can deploy in a green environment and increase the traffic load and see if it is behaving well with locust and other things. If it works well, then you can promote it to blue. Once your stage testing is complete by other teams also with integration testing, then you can promote the container to production in similar blue-green manner, so that live production traffic can come in 5%, then 10%, 15, 20. Once that test is complete, we can certainly promote to production. If it fails, then no need to upgrade, and your client will not see any downtime or any hiccups there. So that's how we can design and scale infrastructure for MLOps. Any question for this?
Mitesh, I have a slightly different take on this stuff.
Okay.
When you mentioned about, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and there are other people also who can, right? But isn't there a trend towards getting smaller models that do precise work more efficiently rather than just to plug everything into a bloody chat GPT 5 or something and then,
Yeah.
I mean, is that a feeling that people are moving towards nowadays?
So that is what, just like what problem you are solving, depend on that. We need to use that model. Like if you want to like quick grammar correction and all those things, it should be done on handheld device, like wherever you are doing, like on the edge. Otherwise, say if you are like solving a coding problem, their delay can be acceptable. Those things like require bigger models, and so depending on the problem you are solving, smaller models are very good for like day-to-day smaller tasks where real.
So are you seeing, or are other people also seeing possibly a trend towards bringing stuff out from the cloud into the local sort of a thing and trying to run stuff more locally? Locally need not necessarily be.
Yes, sir. It is already there in the sense like newer mobile phones. They do a lot of your photo processing there itself.
Okay.
The data even don't go out, because if they are processing on their server, they have to pay the cost. Now mobile phone is yours, so if they do processing there, their running cost will be saved. Only metadata can be sent.
Yeah, and anyway, the mobiles have lots of enough processing power to handle most of the tasks.
Yeah, even some mobiles are having more RAM than laptops. So that is there. So it is easier to run small models very fast. Even I can show you one small.
So Sachin, I think there is a trend of domain-specific models becoming more popular.
Yeah, that's what I was also talking about.
It is becoming more popular in multiple cases. It will take less resources, so cost-wise also it will be low.
Yeah, and you don't need a say 8, 10, 20, 30, 40 billion model to basically do something which is specific to.
This is very small model, and you can type like paraphrase. Okay. So see, small models are wrong answer, but yeah, it does some things. So it depends on accuracy and speed, but you have seen like output has come instantly. So that is there.
So what I understood that model selection is also an intensive work for research.
Yeah. So depending on what you are solving, you can select model. Even one, I've seen one kind of router based on BERT. So it first analyzes what you are trying to do, and then depending on it, it selects the model and send your query there. So it is there. So depend on that, it runs a small model on so that it is very fast and tells me which model should be used if it is available. Fourth, model drift and maintenance, like say, so current, whatever current scenario your model is created for current scenario. In future, some things change, then your model needs to be updated. For example, this fraud detection model trained on last year's data may fail to recognize newer fraud patterns. Uh, Similarly, model said to train to provide you direction to go from one place, but say new roads or highway have come, so they need to again get updated to provide you new better paths. So similarly, model always, so that's why CI/CD will help in like updating and testing, deploying faster. Now we come to another uh, testing of like our hands-on. Like now we can do actual usage of kind of, so that I can question answer with my own data. So let us see. I'll show. I have docs of. Okay. So. Okay, I have downloaded this HTML. Okay, references. Here, sorry, my bad. So I have downloaded docs. Here also. Oh. So I have downloaded this docs, like, so you can consider it as a private data, and say I have this. Okay, let us see if I can find some questions and answers related to some data. The screen is visible, correct?
Yes, Mitesh.
Okay. Okay, CD. Okay. So I have like this Linux tips documents. So let me so this is the database which holds the information, means a vector database. So let me train it again, means on this data. Okay, so it will create embeddings. Look, how it is going to work, let me show. It is working in this manner. So what I have got documents, these documents, the folder which I have shown. Then I'm creating this model and putting in vector database. If you can see here, this is there. So if I want, I can delete this. Okay, so it will again creating that. So it is being created. Okay, it is SQLite. So local persistence is there. So your data is with you only, but just a vector is created. Now let me ask some questions to this. I can do in CLI as well as, but I'll show with GUI so that. Okay, now we have seen document. So as a proof of concept, I'll ask something. Like say I want to ask something which is like deterministic. We can say that it is going to come from this document. Something. Okay, copy. Let me ask in same UI. So it has loaded model and force history to find not to remember a particular command. Means I want not to remember, say I'm using some command which need not to go in history of bash. So let us see, it gives, it is now, what it is doing is, now question, it has gone to this model also, and it will bring context from our document, and then it goes to LLM, and the answer will be returned. So you can see, you can set his control to ignore spaces and ignore, so it can show where from it, where it has taken from. See, it has taken from same 101 hacks file. See, same file, and see, ignore spaces is there, correct? So it is now searching from my document, and it is not going out, not taking any data from outside, and enriching information. Or it, we can take one more example, okay? So that I have converted this to Markdown so that things are uniform. That is what data cleaning process is. Say another one. So whatever I want, like we can repeat a command until it succeeds. I can ask, let us see how. See, it has written the command with proper syntax, and so depends from where it has taken. So it has taken from multiple sources, not only this, but it will show. See, hacker known. Sorry. So line. So it is taking from here only. Multiple files are there. So 5 only I have given, so that we are sure. See, Geek for Geeks also it has read. And this is the hacker known. And the first one is tips and tricks from Linux script, which is this document. Tips and tricks. Bash. So any question for this? So you can see like it is whatever data you can give, it will give results according to that data. So, and it is in deterministic manner, like kind of much better result than, because some problems say you have solved and it is with you only and you want to search, then it can give that result, not going outside. Any question? Should I go to last section?
Yeah, last section, a bit of time check as well.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah.
Let's try to.
Yes, we can stop here if you want.
No, let's close it because you are almost nearing the last slide.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the so a RAG, retrieval augmented generation, and you can use it for your private data. No data is going outside your company or your laptop. So future trends in AI ML. So it is rise of generative AI, means like multiple model AI, means it can now create LLM related to audio, video, picture, images. And future is like in regulations and legislation. Say if something goes wrong, then even court cases can be handled, because say if AI has given some wrong suggestion to someone and someone has taken it to sue, then and then using computing, quantum computing and AI. So Devanshu sir can tell more about this. So almost done. These are like explanation of all those things now. AI generates new original content, but it has taken from text to images and audio code. So new models are supporting all multi-model like GPT-5 and Gemini Pro, Cloud 3. And as a future trend, Edge AI, we were talking about like mobile camera and drone. They are also having smaller AI models on running locally, so that for smaller things, no need to go to remote server, and because going over network is much slower than processing locally. Because processing also happen at server, but data transfer cost and time will be saved. And it also enhances privacy and reduce cost. And last one is like, as I told, government will introducing legislation to regulate AI development and use. Yeah. And the last one is quantum computing in AI. So we can use newer, because current generation of computers are feeling limited by the silicon limitations, and so quantum computers can help in like running more parallel things faster, and newer kind of algorithms will be developed because if newer paradigm comes in terms of hardware and computational power, if those increase, we can use in more machine learning and data analytics like drug discovery or material science, DNA analysis, many more. So since time is running out, I'll show MCP in next demo. But yeah, so that is all the conclusion. So AI is very good to use, and if it is used ethically, it will give you a lot of benefits. As I try to inspire audience with examples which are like real world problems which are solved by getting solved in AI. Engineering problems we can solve. You can use it for your benefit and benefit of society. But yeah, if it is done with collaboration, transparency, and innovation, that is certainly it is helpful for us. Yeah. Any questions and answer?
I think, okay, so if everyone can come on camera so that we can take a screenshot of us. Okay. Just one last time, request everyone to be on camera. I'll take a screen. Sachin, Anshu, Mokshita. Okay. Okay. Let me try to. Thank you. Okay, so thanks, Mitesh, Sachin, Mokshita, and Nidhi. So basically, see, the trend of LSP is a bit changing a bit, in the sense like we are more getting into talks from AI. So Anshu was asking us at one point, where are talks from AI, because the world is talking about AI and large scale is still not having talks from AI. So today, both the talks are AI, ML ops, and AI are all the things that we got. So there's a flavor of quantum computing which Mitesh kind of brought in. So we had planned to bring up a talk on quantum computing.
Yes.
This session itself. But I promise the December session will surely have a quantum computing talk. Okay, and we'll try to see is it scale already or something different. So we'll discuss that a bit. And And thanks everyone for joining this discussion. So we thought that this is a short virtual program. Usually the virtual programs are when we are stopping at like 2 hours thing. So we nearly took 2 hours today. It is 37. So basically a little less than 2 hours. So which is quite standard thing which you used to do during COVID time. So I think that way we are good as far as the standard of virtual meetups are concerned. The next meetup, we are trying hard to get it offline, hybrid, the way we used to do it before COVID and after COVID. And there's a good thing. I have got few reach outs from coordinators who are working with different colleges that why college students are not coming. Can we make some space for them? So obviously we'll do, and spread it to your community. This is a quarterly event, and the most important part is we maintained our consistency by making every event happen. Just one quarter, I think we missed during COVID, and all for last 13-14 years we are regular. We never missed an event. So spread the knowledge and join the Discord group. Thanks, Anshu. I think we can stop the stream now, and I'll stop recording. Thanks to everyone who joined.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks, folks. Thank you.